pretzel sticks?
Excuse me?
This is your wake-up call from TracFone Wireless.
Okay.
What if you didn't eat all those pretzel sticks by the end of the month, so this store took them back?
Good luck.
That's how some wireless companies are with your data, but TracFone Wireless gives you unlimited carryover data with active service, so you keep what you pay for. Plans start at $20 a month.
Wow, that's cool.
Sir, are you bothering the customers?
Yeah, hang on. This is your wake-up call, people. TracFone Wireless. Now you're in control. See terms and conditions at TracFone.com.
Where can you be a star athlete and a math superstar? Where can you prepare for graduate school or your dream job and make friends for the journey? Where can you challenge your mind and inspire your soul? Experience a transforming education at LaGrange College, one of the South's most affordable, highly ranked institutions. Learn more at lagrange.edu.
Shopping for insurance doesn't have to be stressful. I'm Christy, owner of Ellsworth Insurance, located here in Newnan, Georgia. We're an independent agency with access to multiple carriers for home, auto, life, health, and commercial insurance. We're your one-stop shop for your insurance needs. www.insurewithellsworth.com, 770-755-7053. We look forward to meeting you soon.
Looking for the right bank to be your partner? Experience the difference at Southern States Bank. At Southern States Bank, we're not just your bankers, we're your partners. Our team is deeply rooted in the community, and we take pride in providing personalized service. Come to Southern States Bank, where great service comes naturally. Visit us today or check us out.
Good morning, everybody.
Southern States Bank, your community, your bank.
Good morning, Bolly. How you doing? Rusty, my brother, how you doing? Captain Hot Buns, what's up, everybody? I'm glad you the guys that came on first. Sometimes you get some of those people who will come on and start acting up. Good morning. I hope everybody's doing well. Rusty, I hope you're doing well. Why so many sevens? Triple H, there you go. What's going on, Captain Hot Buns?
Same great taste, the best chicken around. Fish dinners, open Monday through Saturday, 10:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's Wishbone Fried Chicken right next door to their.
We got True Crime Thursday today. We got True Crime News. We'll talk about, we got Courtney Liso from the Book of the Dead podcast talking to us about Rod Ferrell, who is the vampire cult leader. So there you go. Hard to choose between Jack the Ripper and Zodiac Killer. I know we've had our friend Randy Rocket Cody on here talking about those before. Rusty, I pray for you, brother, that you're doing well. I know you're working hard. Thank you for all your service and taking the time out to be able to come visit me. Good to hear, Captain Hot Buns.
9 a.m. to 3 p.m. So if you would like to contribute to this fundraiser, this cause we're doing with the Malachi Project, you can call or text 770-639-8685.
This is Holly Reese with Warrior Defenders. Tune in every Monday at 10:30 a.m. for Empowering Strikes Back on WQEE, the Key 99.1 FM.
Hello, this is Perry Johnson, 277 Economy Today. Now, as you probably know, they're wrangling over the budget there in Washington, and the discussions are getting very heated. They claim that there is nothing.
Check. I don't know. Maybe it's on your end, Bolly, brother. Check your internet, my friend. I've been working for 19 hours. Wow, Rusty. We pray for the blood of Jesus Christ over Rusty for working that many hours and taking care of the people he does. We appreciate what he does for a living, and we appreciate him tuning in and taking the time out to be able to be part of the RyanORadio Penitentiary. We pray over him for the rest of the day and for him to have a great sleep when he gets off. In Jesus' name, amen. CNA, brother, nursing, certified nursing assistant. They have to have Red Bulls. Welcome into period number 1 of 3 periods of nonstop play on this True Crime Thursday. Courtney Liso from the Book of the Dead podcast joins you and I in the final period as we talk true crime. We'll talk with her about the vampire cults that came from one city all the way down to Florida. That's coming up, but first, let's kick it off. It's RyanORadio Penitentiary. I'm your host of the most, the one, the only Ryan Neal, and of course, oh, you know I am the game. That's what I say. 50,000 plus of you worldwide, all over that RyanORadio media page as well. Earth, Rock Radio, New Mexico, Arizona, and the Navajo Nation. We're across the British Columbia Isles of Canada, and finally, ladies and gentlemen, across the Jordan Communication and Family radio stations, including right here at 99.1 FM, WQEE Key, home of Southern sports, inspirational talk, and more. We're where you come to Atlanta for talk. That's right. We're the talk of Atlanta with the very best of everything you could think of. We appreciate all you being with us, for us, and all of us. It's Thursday. Hey, it's not quite the weekend yet. But to all my haters, I got one thing to say to them. Tell them, Triple H. I am the man around here, whether they like it or not. What's up? It's about 15 minutes past the hour, 67 degrees, mostly cloudy skies in the Atlanta area. High near 87, low near 67. Active Pest Control, bringing you a look at your weather forecast or your time and temperature. Brought to you by Active Pest Control. Get it right. I'm getting tongue-tied. All these wonderful people coming on the YouTube. Active Pest Control, summer, winter, spring, fall. We don't care for those rodents, critters, or gooey things at all. Mike and the crew can exterminate and lay the smackdown for you. Before I get into the feed and say hello to everybody, we've got our poll question up. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, 227 people voted yesterday in our poll question. And we thank you guys for participating. It was a true crime poll question. So kind of a weird Wednesday meets true crime the same way today. And our true crime poll question today is, which of these serial killers is the most mysterious? 27% so far saying Jack the Ripper. 18% are saying the Zodiac Killer. 36% are saying H.H. Holmes. He was that doctor that had this hotel that people come and stayed in and people disappeared. And he was doing experiments in his basement. And others is 18% of the votes. Good morning, Rusty. He says, I wish it was Friday. Yes, but maybe you get the day off, but you know what? Monday is Memorial Day, and it's going to be a long weekend for a lot of our hardworking people, men and women, and EMTs, fire, police officers, as well as CNAs, like our friend Rusty, nurses, doctors, and stuff. Coming up this weekend, they're going to be a long weekend. Well, some of you are out there, make sure you don't go burn yourself at a catfish fry this coming up weekend and have to go to the ER and have give them a little time to sit there and get paid and basically just do paperwork. Here's always my dream. And we're like, well, they get paid to do that job. Yeah, you know what? I'd rather a nurse sit there for 12 hours, a CNA sit there for 12 hours doing nothing but fiddling on paperwork and checking on the patients they need to check on, rather than having a whole bunch of stuff coming in like Rusty did it a couple weeks ago. So that's just me. Maybe I'm just one of those people who don't care about that. I just want to see nobody else hurt. Why? All right, Wishy Washy, what's up? Yo, what's going on here? What's up, Wishy Washy? Welcome in. Bolly's back with us as well. And, of course, we got to say, Captain Hot Buns! Our good friend is in the house this morning. And it's so great to have all these wonderful people on starting off the show on the YouTube page. Like, subscribe, and share, please. If you want to help out with a brother, get from another mother, you can go to patreon.com/RyanORadio. That's patreon.com/RyanORadio. Give what you want. I'm not going to say, well, you give this seed and you plant this seed and I'm going to give you another seed. No, we don't do that kind of stuff. So even though I do a little preaching on here, I'm no preacher. I'm just told by the people I serve with and my preachers and everybody's like, you're a servant. So there you go. So but I do that. All right, this morning, Courtney Liso joins us in the final period. She and I are going to talk about the vampire cult, Rod Ferrell. This happened many years ago. The guy just recently also was asking to get out. He and a few people that followed him came from one state down to Florida, got into a girl's head, and ended up killing this girl's parents in a so-called vampire lifestyle. Kids back in the 90s, we were weird, I know. So it happens when you listen to Marilyn Manson. Instead of listening to Motley Crue and Metallica, you listen to Marilyn Manson. Okay. Instead of listening to good music. Come on. You guys know what I'm talking about, Metallica, Motley Crue, Captain Hot Buns. You know, you agree with it. Yes, let's have that, please. That's what I want to have. Memorial Day is heading out this weekend. We'll talk about it more on Friday. Plus, I just want to let you guys know that I will be having an opportunity to interview the members of Moms for Liberty on this show. They contacted me, and I was like, sure, because I am all about opening the doors of this show and interviewing anybody in diversity and people with different points of view than some of our listeners and people with points of view with the same as some of our listeners, because we got a good variety of people that listen to us worldwide, from the left to the right side. And I'm going to say the regular right and the regular left side, not the extremists on both sides. Then we got people down the middle too. So I was excited for them to ask me. I'm like, thank you. I appreciate that. That means my show is actually doing something where people are actually listening. So they want to be on the show. I was like, sure. Not a problem with me. So I don't know if it's going to be this Friday or next Friday, but we will have them on the show. We're contacting them about getting on the show with us. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got a lot in store for you. We got Courtney Liso. We got True Crime News. We got the Daily Dumb Crook of the Day. That's all coming up for you. And which of these serial killers is the most mysterious? I want to get them 225 votes like I did yesterday. I got 227 yesterday on the poll, the largest voting audience ever on a Wednesday. Today we want to try to get as much to that as we can. Come on, guys. We're already at 20 after. Let's get up to 100. And let's get up to 60 this hour, 70 this hour, going into the next hour. You're having a lot. Which of these serial killers is the most mysterious? Jack the Ripper's got 29% of the votes right now. Zodiac Killer's at 21% of the votes. H.H. Holmes is 36% of the votes and 14% of others. H.H. Holmes is the man that owned a hotel. Some of his hotel guests disappeared, and he did extremely unusual experiments on them in the basement, which he was also used on one of the many American Horror Stories in the past when they first started. So there you go. All right, we're going to do our daily devotion momentarily. Guys, like, share, and subscribe. Get everybody on the page. Let's jump into a couple little headline news this morning. Pro-Palestinian protesters call Anthony Blinken a war criminal during the second Senate committee hearing. Blinken testified before the Senate committee regarding the Department of State's $58.8 billion budget they're heading in for 2025. A man yelled out as Blinken was in there that he is responsible for the death of many in Gaza. And of course, the man was taken out off the hill as it continued to move forward. The United Nations Relief Agency for Palestine refugees said that it has suspended its distribution of food in the southern Gaza city of Rafah during the ongoing Israel military operations and with lack of supplies. It's a situation reported Wednesday, and Israel's ongoing military operations in that eastern city has made it inaccessible for the United Nations Relief Agency to distribute in their center and the World Food Program warehouse, both of which are located in that southern city, to do what they need to do. We pray that they're able to get that food out to them. It continues that the military operation was also affected by the delivery of humanitarian supplies in the Palestinian area, stating that the last 2 days, only 48 trucks have entered Gaza via Shalom crossing with Israel and Rafah crossing in within the northern Egypt area. So there you go. We'll keep you abreast of what's going on there. We'll keep praying for everybody on all sides of this. Of course, I do want people to know that, yes, America is allies with Israel and will always be allies with Israel and everything. But we do also pray for those innocent Palestinians over there in the midst of that, without calling Anthony Blinken a war criminal and calling him out. And some of the names they yelled at him was just kind of disrespectful. You're responsible for a bunch of deaths and all this kind of stuff. Come on, man. Really? I know you feel heavy about it, and I'm not putting anybody down that feels heavy on that side about it, because I don't do that here. You know, it's an open discussion. This is what real radio has always been, and real television has always been, unlike what you see on Snooze Max or CNN or whatever's out there, or clickbait people on here just wanting to get you to clickbait mad at them. You know, it's a discussion. It's the right thing to do. It's to hear, you know, and it's to tell the truth. And it's not to sit there and say, well, we're bad for this. No, the United States is not bad for being part of being with our allies, Israel. They never have been. Yes, it's a terrible situation that's going on. And yes, we don't want to see innocent bystanders, citizens being killed during this war. Now, it seems like they're not getting as much on both sides right now. We told you the other day about 3 Hamas leaders, including also on the other side with Prime Minister Netanyahu and his defense minister all being charged with war crimes with the ICC. So, and they both dismantled that. So they won't be going to court for that, probably. So I will pray for all these people. We'll pray for the blood of Jesus Christ over everybody and get this war to get over very soon. In the name of Jesus Christ, amen. Because there's no judgmental there, but it's the reality of who, what, when, where, and why, and what we do together. All right, 24 minutes past the hour. It's still currently 67 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Time and temperature brought to you by Active Pest Control, 34 Jefferson Street in Noonan. Summer, winter, spring, fall, we don't care for those rodents, critters, or gooey things at all. I hope I am free to tell get off, and thank you for praying, brother. You are very welcome. You can say that. I am a follower of Christ. So there you go. Yes. So yeah, that's all good. South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster signed a new law into session that the law is to ban gender affirmation care for those that are under a certain age, like minors, calling it a cruel and dangerous assault on the trans youth. He said the South Carolina new law also requires school administrators to contact parents of children choosing to use a different name or pronouns other than what they were assigned at birth. Also, they're saying that if the teachers come upon this, that want to do this, or kids want to do this, that they're going to have to let them know. Now, the critics of the bill say that it's dangerous assault on trans youth and adults in South Carolina. All right, I got to talk about this for a minute. Jack the Ripper, there you go, Josephine, and the Zodiac Killer are the same people, equal time traveler. Really? I'm going to throw that into see if Randy Rocket Cody, who was investigating in both of those and solved them, unlike the other people who won't do their jobs, you know what I mean? I'll tell him what you said. I appreciate that. That's interesting. And I'm not against time travel. I'm one person who will not tell you that I don't think time travel is, like everything else I can probably go against. Everything else I could definitely go against lizard people goes and shapeshifter. That's not real. And I could definitely contradict you on, because I'm an independent, straight edge independent skeptic when it comes to everything, except for the Bible. But time travel is in the Bible, so that's why I believe that can be true. So there you go. Anyway, back to this with the governor. I think he's doing what is right for kids. I think that if you're over the age of 21, just like you're over the age of 21, you can buy a beer, go to war, whatever. You can make whatever decisions about your life you want to make. But I think that kids thinking things or doing things or whatever, it should just be like let's go into a situation of talking about this, get to understanding why you feel this way. No putting anybody down. You know, as a Christian, I don't believe in putting anybody down. As a follower of Christ, I should say, I don't believe in putting anybody down. I know that there's things in the Bible that says it's illegal, but it's also the thing people don't follow the 10 Commandments. The same people don't follow the 10 Commandments will call out people for being different than them. And you better follow the 10. You better go by the 10 Commandments. You better not be a gambler. You better not say, I'm against transgenders when you go out and gamble. God ain't for gambling. You're too biblical on me. No, you're too biblical on everybody else, but you're not biblical on yourself. Okay? But I agree with what the governor's doing there in South Carolina. I think it's the best thing to do. And people can't really say anything negative about it. This was a state that with Nikki Haley, even though somebody might not like what she's doing or who she's supporting, she's the one that pulled the Confederate flag down. And I know there's going to be some people go, well, this my heritage. Well, okay, whatever. Stop crying and whining. Things need to be in a museum. I'm just about tired of hearing people that have everything complain about having to take out of their savings to pay their bills, and they still can go on vacation. I'm tired of hearing them complain. You know, sorry about that, guys. I had to blow my nose, guys, for you guys that are not seeing me. The listeners are seeing me on YouTube. Sorry about that, guys. Anyway, but like I said, I don't think it's a young person being able to make that decision. They need to go through whatever it is, whether they feel like to go through therapy, whatever the parents decide to do, that's their decision. I'm not going to hear and give any kind of suggestions to the parents on what they're going to be doing, because that's their kids. Okay. And if they say, I want to go to therapy, I want to get to learn, I want to understand this, I think this is wrong, that's their kids. That's it. I don't see anything wrong with people making their own decisions for their kids. Everybody has to do that. Some parents feel like whooping their kids is good. Some feel like sticking them in a corner is good. That's two different parents. I'm not going to tell either one of those parents they're right or wrong. That's just never been my deal. I don't think we can discount any theory. It's like a legal system, innocent until proven guilty. Well, why do people have a different approach to a theory and they can't disprove it? That's right. Well, it's in the Bible, Josephine. Time travel has been in the Bible. So that's why I can say it can't be disproved. And I agree with you on that. So, and it makes a lot of sense that those two would be one and the same. And I'm not saying it is true or not true, but just saying that what Josephine is saying makes sense. So, all right, Logan Paul Jr., what's up, United States champion in the house? What's up, U.S. champion? You've already defeated Logan Paul. Yes, indeed. All right, we're going to take a break, ladies and germs. We thank you very much for being with us and everything. I know people are like, wow, you're not trying to challenge people how to live their lives. Yeah, it's kind of hard to do that in this business, even though I know Snooze Max and CNN and all of them do it, just so they can get their points across. Now, you know, I understand some of those people are hardcore, whatever side of the aisle they're on, but hey, I'm not going to be like that. I'm straight edge, independent skeptic. That's the way I have to be. That's the way I was taught in this business. So we're going to pray for the people in Palestine, but Israel is our ally, for those that don't understand that, in America. Also, violently calling out Anthony Blinken and calling him a war criminal. He has done anything. He has not been a part of any of this. He's been trying to stop it. And then finally, South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster's signing this law protecting the youth. And I think it's a good idea. We have to protect each other. But here's also, if you're out there gambling, cheating on your spouse, bearing false witness against neighbors, stealing, doing things, I don't think you need to go and have a rights to try to put anybody else down. But for the regular of us, we understand that. Big salute to all our veterans. If it wasn't for them, CK, I wouldn't be over here smacking my mouth off in the mornings. Thank you. Good morning, all. Big salute to our veterans, says CK 56 South 6. We had a veteran on yesterday from Fort Bragg or something, Fort somewhere in North Carolina. We appreciate him and what he does. Thank you in a moment. We're back in a moment. More news. It's True Crime Thursday. What's up, my brother? How you doing? Oh, I know you will, Logan Paul. You'll take him, Junior. You'll take out the senior out in a minute. That would be cool if you debuted as Logan Paul Jr. You'd be like, what? What? I can see his face. Woo! Man, we had 225 votes yesterday. No, 227 votes, I'm sorry, on our poll question. Those things help out a lot with the analytics on this thing. They act like they don't, but they do, because like YouTube's been calling me about it. Have you ever heard of the guy called Mad Mike? Yeah, I have, actually. That's the one thing I might sit around watching on the Tubi and stuff. Oh. I sent an email to the WWE, buddy, but I don't know if they're going to respond. I've sent stuff in the past from me here. Yeah. They might tell me to stop using the theme songs. Of a topic, have you seen them off topic? Have you seen the movie? Yes, I don't like Joe's Apartment. I'm not afraid of aliens, Bigfoot, ghosts, and even if they're real or not real. Time travel's cool. I'm not afraid of people. I'm not afraid of anything. I don't like cockroaches. Ugh. So no, I don't watch that movie. Never watched that movie or show. There was a show about it too. Not into that. So I guess my enemies will go, we know how to get Ryan now, Josephine. That's all right. I got my protection in here. You guys will kill him for me. Don't try to send him to Ryan. We'll get you. The poor little trolls can't come in here without crying and leaving. Have you ever heard of the Cincinnati serial killer? Huh. I have to check it out. I may have spoke about it in the past. I don't know.
We have a kids mentoring program for middle school and high school kids. We also have an after-school program for kindergarten through fifth grade. And so these programs we have for kids are free of cost for children. And so we do fundraiser with these Malachi Project t-shirts for $25 donation. You can receive a Malachi Project t-shirt, and your donation will go into the ministry. And so we will be on the Newton Square May 24th, 9 a.m.
Like we were talking about all that killing yesterday with horrifying history, Brenda Gasky. I can handle that. Only one picture of nowhere. Wow. Guys, continue to get up the poll question. Let's get it up to 200 like we did yesterday. What's one of the strangest things you've ever heard and don't believe it was true and then turned out to be true? I don't really know, because anytime somebody says something, I'm the kind of person that anytime somebody believes something, I'm the kind of person that kind of like doesn't really think about what they're saying is true or not true. I look at it as, well, it must be true to them. So I haven't really thought of anything really. Most all the theories like JFK and stuff like that, I think I always thought that was true. So now I got to keep my hair long, but I appreciate the compliment given any given. Is that give? Yeah, I'm going to keep it. That's a good question. I've never really thought about it. I guess I never really sat down and like really went to get somebody. I just didn't really think about it. It's something I just didn't believe. I just never paid attention to it. And if it's something that somebody else believed, I never really thought about it against them. So I guess my answer is I never really thought about it. Never really did anything towards anybody's. Welcome back in, RyanORadio Penitentiary. Thank you. I got to keep the hair, though. Josephine says, rest in peace, JFK, best president of the United States. Yes, indeed. He used to be Ku Klux Klan, then released one day when he was doing so. Oh, okay. I think I know what you're talking about. Logan Paul Jr. Yeah. About that serial killer. Welcome back into RyanORadio Penitentiary, 20 minutes away from the top of the hour. Good morning to everybody tuning in to RyanORadio Penitentiary. Time and temperature brought to you by Active Pest Control. Summer, winter, spring, fall, we don't care for those rodents, critters, or gooey things at all. It's 67 degrees in the Atlanta market. I want to dedicate a Boys to Men song. Well, we don't play no songs on the morning show, but maybe later overnight or something they do. But we don't do any of that here. But whatever song you want to dedicate, we'll throw it out there. All right, which of these serial killers is the most mysterious? Jack the Ripper, 29% of the votes. Zodiac Killer, 24% of the votes. H.H. Holmes, the man that had a hotel and did, quote, experiments on his hotel guests, got 29% of the vote, and 18% going to others. Josephine asked me a good question was, basically, was there something I didn't believe, the strangest thing that I ever heard, didn't believe, and it turned out to be true? And it's hard for me to answer that question because I never really thought about that towards, if something I saw on TV is just something I watched, it was if one of these haunted hotels like the Stanley Hotel was haunted, I just kind of looked at it as, okay, I'm going to watch it. Or if something happened, the JFK thing I always thought was kind of, I never considered that a conspiracy theory. I always thought, well, he made a lot of enemies, and it makes a lot of sense that he could have been shot by anybody, from the mob to foreign governments to people in our government that he didn't want. I never thought it was a conspiracy theory. So really, to answer that question, I really didn't have anything. So it's bad to say. I really never, somebody come up with their own idea. I never really thought, well, you're crazy and I don't want, except for, I guess the only thing I would say is these QAnon people are crazy, and they really are. But it's because you're smoking 180 proof THC and not got the natural stuff like they do on the Novel Nation. Go back to smoking the natural stuff, everybody, and then you'll start seeing things right. How do I dedicate a song? Just anywhere. Kenneth, what's up? Heart, clown heart. Is that a clown heart? Paul White, skin. Pale white skin. Okay. And his skin was pale white, and I think I know what you're talking about. And Logan Paul Jr. is talking to us this morning about something else. Pale white skin, about a killer in Cincinnati a lot of times, I think I talked about that a few months back with one of actually Courtney Liso talked about it on the show here. And that's what we do. We try to talk about all these unusual true crime with our true crime experts. It's not just about, Ted Bundy. Something. Dedicate a love song to Jennifer. Is that your future wife or girlfriend? Jennifer, he's got a song he wants to dedicate to you. Oh, wow, that's nice. Oh, that's sweet. Guys, that is sweet. All right, let's jump into it. A couple other things before we dive into our true crime news in just a few moments. Well, we'll say Jennifer, from you to Jennifer, good morning, but nothing else. Oh, okay. Well, and it's to Jennifer from whom? That way we know who it is. Well, you don't need to be dropping the N word. That means you're racist. Drop it. Are you talking about using that word, or using? If you're saying not to use that word is the best thing that we can do to stop calling people names, yes. But if you say using the word thinking it's all right, it's not. And God don't like that. God don't like you. But I got all this stuff that I stole. I'm sure you do. Grandpa gave you everything, but hey. Yeah, we are radio. Who tricked us into using that word? People back in the 1800s that were racist? Yep. Those racist pieces of trash back in the day used to say that all the time. Drop the N-word is the fastest way to be a victim of crime. That's right. That's right, Josephine. Say it to the wrong person. Don't say it to the wrong guy. Like, what did you say, white boy? We're like, you know what he said? You heard it. Take him out. Oh, Lord. I support dropping the N-word. I support dropping the whole word whatsoever and not using it at all. We don't need to use it, but we have a lot of people in 2024 that still want to use it and go, I can't use it. If I can't use it because I'm white, well, you dumbass, you know you can't use it. Same thing is called the Native Americans derogatory words. I mean, we got to stop going, it's cancel culture because a white man can't use something. I got some Native American in me too, but I'm a fourth generation Scandinavian. I'll tell you right now, I can explain to everybody right now before I do anything else. I can tell you right now that never in my entire life have I been told by anybody that's different than me, that looks different than me, women on opposite sex or whatever, that I couldn't be proud to be a straight, half white male and anything like that. I've never been told that. So for people to get out here and really get hardcore about words that they shouldn't use, and I'm not talking about you, I'm just saying that saying things and being mad and calling it cancel culture because we don't need to say, Washington's Commanders changed the name of their team. Well, we don't need to use that word. It's derogatory. We don't use this word. It's derogatory. We don't use that word. It's derogatory. We need to understand. I've never been told I couldn't be proud of who I am. So, there you go. I don't need the pass. I used it every day. Well, if you're white and you use it every day, you're going to get your ass whooped. You come down south and use it, you're definitely going to get your ass whooped. All right, my brothers out there, don't worry that's listening. I don't know how old this guy is. But he don't need to be using that word. He just don't need to come through any small town and use it. Oh, Lord. Josephine says, I dare you to go to the Bronx in New York and drop the N-word. I bet you will see a magic trick. You disappear. Josephine said the same thing in the Bronx. You have to go to a small little community that's mostly one race to use that word. Dude, why are you saying that? Okay. I gotta respond to this. He says, I hear those people are violent. What, in Brooklyn? Because I know if you're trying to say those people, that's another way of using the N-word, by the way, guys. That's another racist terminology from a Klan member or a Nazi who thinks that they got more rights than everybody else. Well, it's freedom of speech. No, it's not freedom of speech. And it's ignorance. It's stupidity. I can't talk for anyone, but I'm just saying I'm not from America, and we know it's wrong. It is, yeah, in America it's wrong. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. In Bronx is flooded with Hispanics. It's 2 years before. Yeah, CK says, you drop the N-word, you get what you deserve. Yeah, I tell him, brother. We don't tell him. And you know what? We're just going to stand there watching. Shouldn't have said that. You're not going to help me, man. No, we're not going to help you. We might help our friends kick you. No, I wouldn't. No, I'm not calling for violence. But I'm just saying that, you know, you gotta use your brain and not anything else. Oh, I believe that, Bali, what you said about El Salvador. Prisons open. 2020, I don't like it. I'll be thinking I'm better. I'll be better without it. Without what, Logan? All right, let's talk about John Goodman right quick. Let's talk about Roseanne and the Connors. Connors coming back for a final season. Roseanne, see, you probably would defend Roseanne, won't you? She got in trouble for saying some racial things, and her character got, after 10 seasons, her character got killed off. And 9 seasons back in the 90s, and then 10th season back in 2018, and then 2019, the Connors came up. And of course, from 1988 to 1997 was the original series. 2008 came back. Barr was let go because of what she had said, racial. And you just can't say that. Even though you apologize about it, it's not it. Need to take our country back for what, Winter Groper? Are you a racist Klansman? Is daddy and mommy cousins? I don't know why our country, we should support people that are racist. We know this is, guys, you know what this is in there, don't you? That's one of those trolls. You came into the wrong place to troll, buddy. And it's not because of me. It's because of those listeners in there, buddy. You came in the wrong place with your racial mindset. We got Native American chiefs in here, really. Go ahead. Your people stole the land from them. So there you go. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Even though she apologized for being a racist prick, her character was killed off. Dan, Jackie, Darlene, Becky, DJ, and others continued. Kathy Siegel stepped in as Dan's new second wife, Lucille, and the 7th and final season's coming up between 2024 and 2025. No, they're not. They're not invincible. Those Klansmen and 3% mindsets and the keepers of the oath and all of whatever. The only reason they got anything is they bend each other over. Now, this is I'm straight independent skeptic, and I'm a Christian, buddy. Back in a moment, ladies and gentlemen, we're dealing with a bigot. Worst troll ever. I kind of like the ones that just kind of make fun of me. You go, is that a gay radio station, dude? No, it's a Christian-based radio station, but we don't judge anybody because we're Christians. We don't see. My mom was from Barnesville, Georgia, and she is Seminole Indian. My dad was 4th generation Scandinavian from up north in the Bronx. So I'm not inbred. Not kind of like you are, Winter. Back in a moment, his brain is frozen. We'll take him back over. It was never yours in the first place.
Right bank to be your partner. Experience the difference at Southern States Bank. At Southern States Bank, we're not.
Tell them, CK, they all spineless. I think he's just in there trying to start something, but I knew he was going to be taken out by you guys.
Check us out at Southern States Bank.
Christians, yeah, we need to stand up and take our country back from the red hats. From the white, we need to take it from the guys that wear the white sheets, wear the grandma's white sheets. Play G.I. Joe on the weekend. And the only reason they have anything is because they take care of each other. And then they get mad when other groups say they want to take care of each other. I don't like it the black people want to take care of each other. I don't like it that Native Americans want to take care of each other. I don't like it that other people. You know, that's why they're jealous, right? Because all of a sudden they're like, wait a minute, these other groups are coming together. They're going to outnumber us. And it's all led by Christians. They wear their grandma's sheet. Take it back from the guys that wear the small little hats. What small little hats? Are you talking about the Klansmen? I nose gave it away. See, I had another guy argue me the other day, Red Bricks, that I didn't have Native American in me, and this guy's like, "I nose gave it away. You're part Native American." So you do know, Winter, that this is not your country, right? That your ancestors stole this country and burned down buildings that were already here, right? Oh, I'm not Jewish. Nothing against Jewish. I got a buddy that's Jewish. And by the way, you want to make fun of them? Smartest group of people out there, chosen by God. They're God's people. And they know how to build up industries. No, you don't like to hear that, Winter. God separated. Let me tell you what God separated. God separated everybody because they were trying to build. They thought they could build a tower to heaven. That's what it was. My name is Winter. Mama always told me that Daddy went on vacation, but Daddy really was my granddaddy. You want some chocolates? We have to go back and be part of the old ways. Mama always said life was like a box of chocolates. My name is Winter. Winter, nice to meet you. Ooh-wee! Which of these serial killers, ladies and gentlemen, were the most mysterious? Let's get them 200 and something votes up there, ladies and gentlemen. Like we did yesterday. Jack the Ripper with 27%, Zodiac Killer 32%, H.H. Holmes 23%, and others at 18%. We still got Courtney Liso to come up in the final period. True crime, we'll talk about the vampire cult of a crazy kid who thought he was a vampire. Still sitting up in jail. We'll talk about that in the final period. Plus, got a little bit more in store for you. Thank you, Red Bricks, for telling him the truth. He don't want to hear it, though. What you say makes a lot more sense than what he says. Thank you. I'm just trying to tell all white people it's okay to say the N-word and should be encouraged. You know you got to be a troll because white people don't think like that, except for the racist ones. You're right about that. Most every one of them do treat women like crap, Bolly. You're right. But it's not in the Bible to treat women like that. The problem is people don't read it properly. They see the stories and the examples of how people treat people, and the examples are for us not to act like that, and show that we will make mistakes and everything. There's so many great examples and stories in there, but it's not saying that when the man is the leader of the house doesn't mean the man tells the woman, smacks her around or anything like that. You know what I mean? See, here we go. Winners. Winner, how old are you, man? He says, women should not be allowed to vote or drive. They are too many, and they are too to make more soldiers. No, what's going to happen when one of them becomes a president? You going to have a problem? You got that right, Bolly. I'm not disagreeing with you that some people take it to the extreme. I say I'm a follower of Jesus Christ and his teachings and not of any particular religious things. As a believer, he would have not believed in that, but I'm not disagreeing with you on it. Logan Paul, what you say, brother? I missed it. Sorry. I didn't want to lie. Meeting girls online made me feel like a stalker in 2020. How about you going? Oh, okay. I say he's telling the other guy to go. Women have no place in politics. Yeah, they do. Hey, is this that guy? What is it? I know it's not. Alex Jones don't talk like this, but he's had that loser on his show before. He's like, whoa, you're too crazy for me. What's that guy down in Florida, that 29-year-old guy in Florida that plays on the internet? That's a Nazi. What's his name? Yeah, that loser. Is that who this is? That's right. Racism is not religion, Josephine. You are correct. We were talking with our listeners here on the listener takeover towards the end of the hour, and we're going to take a break. Well, most of my listeners on here have different points of view there, whitey guy or whatever, winter guy, white supremacist guy, but they're not hateful, racist people on here. Back in a moment. I'm going to keep him on here trolling because there's other people about to come on too. He's going to end up getting himself all killed. I mean, not killed, but crying. He's going to be crying. Him and Nick are going to be crying and running out of here by the time you guys are done with him. BK, what's up? How you doing? There you go, Bolly. Remember, Bolly, when you put stuff in here, we are listening, brother. You don't have to defend yourself. You just remember, you're one of us. You're part of the penitentiary, brother. Good morning, BK. How you doing? Oh, you just want to know about what? Clock on. Problem when the clock was clicking on climate change and gave us TikTokers. I want a role model. I want a role model. We got a role model. His name is Jake Paul. Jake Paul. He's a good role model. You know, he plays bad. Uh-oh. Regina, how you doing this morning? Thank you for dropping in. Jesus is the only one who can make a difference in this world, and he's the only way to the Father. Thank you, Regina. Thank you, sister. Everybody has a different points of view. On a lighter note, did you know that New York City has the same population as Australia? Wow, yeah. That's cool. I love you guys having different points of view. You know that I care for all of you. And none of y'all have ever done anything. But this other guy that's in here, I believe it's like Red says, he's just a troll. And he's already gone. Oh, there he is. Christ is our king. Yes. But Winner, how can you believe in God and Jesus was Jewish and he was a dark man? And how can you be racist when Jesus was not a white man with blue eyes and blonde hair? They don't look like that over there, do they, Bolly? Don't hurt somebody's feelings, Bolly, by saying that that Jesus was that color. He's probably 32 years old. Probably lives in some small town across the United States. And if he is young, he's being influenced by a bunch of racists in his family. There you go, Bolly. But Jesus was Jewish and he was not white. I bet you Winter thinks that. Jesus was blonde hair, blue eyed. He looked just like Ken from Ken and Barbie. Sure, if that's what you think, Winter, sure. Okay, Winter, you're not gonna disrespect women on my page like that. I know you're a troll, and I know Josephine can take care of herself, but you're not gonna disrespect women like that on this page. You're not gonna do that because the people I got coming on will destroy you, buddy. You'll be crying in your Klan outfit tonight. Bolly says that effing and yep, you're right. They do that. They mix it together, Bolly. You're not lying, brother. Most of us all know it's true. But us that believe in Jesus is good. That's a good song, but why? Jesus just left Chicago. That was by ZZ Top. Jesus just left. Israel, he says Jewish means similar and alike to same as radish. They are not the original, but similar. Okay. I'm glad I can learn some things. You know, I'm not going to disagree and hate on anybody because I'm a follower of Jesus Christ and I believe in loving one another. MJA here. Thank you for getting in there and getting him. Winter, no chance here. Who's making fun of a woman? The Winter guy. Why is his name Winter? He's wearing his Klan's outfit. He's a white supremacist. I know, right, Bolly? But why? Jesus really is only the truth. You're right, brother. But why? You guys are all good here. You are mad. Your black stepmom kicked you out of the basement to change your bed. Oh, no. You just messed up, Winter. I told you. It doesn't matter if she's a 40-plus single mom either. She's got more money probably than us. I don't make fun of anybody, dude. Good morning, Pete. How you doing? In Navajo Nation, I tell them, hey. Thank you, RW, for being with us. Anna Marie, what's up? Thank you, but why? Thank you for subscribing to the channel, brother. The noon and dance. That's for all the nooning people. Hey, what's up, brother? Bill, how you doing this morning? How are you trying to be nice to people, man? You were in here saying hateful, racist things. We can't allow that in here. It's not an opinion. It's evil. Noonan dance is awesome. Yeah. All these people about love in here, man. Yep, Noonan, Georgia, brother. But why? What part of Georgia are you from, brother? Or sister? I don't know whether you're brother or sister. Frosty, that was nice. Oh, I know where Dallas is. One of my listeners, his wife was going up there doing some programs with Warrior Defenders. Love Dallas, Georgia. Yep, not too far, my brother. You actually know where Noonan is. I love Noonan. It's a great little community. Send it over to us and I'll listen to it, and we probably will play it for you, buddy. You should be an email in this feed here. I'll listen, and look, if there's no cursing and stuff in it, we probably will play it. Beautiful homes. Yes, thank you. It's pretty homes here. Thank you. Did a lot of work, but why? I appreciate it. Well, this is a radio station in downtown. WQEE 99.1 FM is where you're at. 99classicrock@gmail.com. That's 99classicrock@gmail.com, my friend. Cool. We'll probably play it. We're local radio. We do things for people. WQEE is not that, my friend. Don't make fun of people. Oh, I came to play, ladies and gentlemen, all the great people on here, and of course, one jabroni. But he's making my feed go up. That's why we're keeping him on there. I've got a troll coming in the midst of all the great ones. We've got 50,000 plus of you worldwide on the Shoutcast Shout Out Loud. Plenty of people listening to the radio station. Also, we're across the RyanORadio media page. That's right, RyanORadio media page. And Earth, Rock Radio, New Mexico, Arizona, and the Navajo Nation. Aha! Real radio there and internet. And we're also, ladies and gentlemen, across the British Columbia, Isles of Canada, and finally, WQEE 99.1 FM, the Key, Noonan's home for inspirational talk, news, and Southern sports. Also, a little of everything for everybody. Great programming. You got to love it. We appreciate it. You're from Virginia. Woohoo! And But Wise from Dallas, Georgia this morning. I got to say hello to him, another Georgia boy with us. Good morning to our Noonanites. Pete and Anna Maria are on as well. Good morning going out to Josephine is with us. Red Bricks is always from Detroit. Kenneth, God, prayer, love, and light. Thank you, Kenneth. You're a great man. And then we got Virginia in the house. And send it over, brother. And we'll listen to it and probably get it on the air for you. We like to help out our local musicians. And even though you're in Virginia, you're still a local musician. And we appreciate everybody being with us and our haters as well. And play some Yes. Woohoo! I love some Yes. All right, welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen. It's True Crime Thursday. And we appreciate you guys being with us. Coming in the final period, Courtney Liso is going to be speaking with us. She's the co-host with her mother of the Book of the Dead podcast, a true crime podcast that you can download anywhere. And she'll be with us talking about the vampire cult killer. His name is Rod Ferrell. And we'll talk about him killing a girl he went down's parents and everything. Wow. You're on 99.1 FM, WQEE The Key, real radio for real people, and love getting that messed with. Oh, man. Guys, thanks for subscribing. And we can just ignore a certain person in here. That's what we do. winner, I all I got to say to you is, got a lot of Georgia people on here. Make those remarks in Georgia. They don't like that either. But y'all in the South. Yep. That don't mean we're hateful here. That's just a imaginary conspiracy theory that they made about Southern people. All right, let's get back to it. Josephine, you don't have to defend yourself. You're kin to Kenny Rogers. Don't have to worry about it. If I need to, I'll just get rid of him because he's gone. Sorry. You guys get back to having fun then there. All right. Which of these serial killers is the most mysterious? Jack the Ripper, 29% of the votes. 39% going to the Zodiac Killer. H.H. Holmes says 16% of the votes. And others, 16% of the votes. I'll check it when I get off the air, brother. I appreciate it. And I'll listen, and we'll probably try to get it in for you. That is our poll question this morning on this True Crime Thursday and everything. And to everybody out there, I mean, if he'd acted right instead of coming in trying to say he could, all white people should be able to use the N-word. I'm like, come to the South. Come on. There's some people who'd like for you to say that in front of them. You wouldn't make it out of their neck of the woods. Come to my neighborhood, buddy. You're right. He actually made me laugh. I know he was making you laugh, but he was getting to be too much, and everybody in there needs to be paying attention to what's going on in the show and with each other. You guys have great conversations in there. Yeah, I can play Enter Sandman in the background. Warrior Defender should have been here. She would have kicked some butt. All right. Let's jump right back into a couple of headline news for you as we head into our true crime episode. As we've got 15 minutes past the hour, 67 degrees in the metro Atlanta area. A beautiful day ahead of us. And your time and temperature brought to you by our friends at Active Pest Control. Summer, winter, spring, fall. You don't care for rodents, critters, or good things at all. Mike and the crew can exterminate and lay the smack down for you. What's up, Monty? How you doing on this great day? I appreciate you being with us. But yes, first says, but why? Molly says, bro, did you watch One Thing? I didn't watch One Thing. I need to check it out. Or what is it? Let me know. I'll be glad to. I appreciate you doing that. See how once you get rid of the so-called trolls that everybody else gets along in here, they got different points of view. This is the world. All right, let's do a little true crime for you in just a few moments. Let's do our headline news. Headline news of the morning. Pro-Palestinian protesters called for Anthony Blinken, called him a war criminal during a Senate hearing committee. South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster signed into law a ban to gender affirming for minors, calling it dangerous and cruel for those trans youths. Also, ladies and gentlemen, we told you about this the other day. I don't know what that one is. Is he going on tour with Taylor Swift? I don't know who that is. There you go. You love McDonald's better than KFC. I hear you. It's time for a segment of Guess the Wrestler. There you go. All right, let's see what else we got going on in the news. Ricky Stenhouse. This might interest you, fighting people in there. Just thought about a new YouTube radio show, DJ Live Talk and Play Music. We'll get that music into. We're going to be adding more music in the evenings and overnights. I got some new shows coming on that's going to be playing some music too at night. Do our talking sports in the daytime. We're good. We're everybody's station. Anyway, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. has been fined $75K for punching Kyle Busch in the face after Kyle Busch ran him into the wall this past Sunday in the 2024 All-Star race. His crew also got suspended, and his father, senior, got suspended for it as well. He was banned from the site with the fight that went on with Busch. And I know you guys might like the fighting. Actually, Mickey D's is gross. Some of them are good and some of them are bad. You're right. But if they go back to that $5 meal, but why? I'll go eat there anyway. Oh, he's a new punk rocker. I'm gonna listen to him then. Executive group. I'm gonna say group. Executive. Yeah, I'm gonna check him out. Thank you. I'm a punk rocker from back in the day and a metal guy. Send it over to 99classicrock@gmail.com. 99classicrock@gmail.com. Send it over to me. I want to hear it, brother. Also, in other news, in other sports news, the Louisville Police Department are investigating into the officers involved with the arrest of the golfer Scotty Shedfield, who determined if they follow their policies or not, according to Mayor Craig Greenberg. He reported this on Tuesday. And CFL fans, what's up this weekend? They had your Monday night preseason game. Preseason begins this weekend. The Redbacks and the Tigers, 2 p.m. on Tiger Cats, 2 p.m. on Saturday. Lions and Stampeders, 4 p.m. on Saturday. 4 p.m. also the Rough Riders and the Elks, and Toronto and Montreal, 7:30 p.m. on Saturday. We'll keep you abreast of what's going on with that. And that's some of the headline news that you got going on around news, weather, and sports. All right. We're about 20 minutes past the hour, holding under kind of cloudy skies. The sun's out there behind there. Time and temperature is currently 67 degrees, brought to you by our friends at right here. At Active Pest Control, summer, winter, spring, fall. We don't care for those rodents, critters, or gooey things at all. Ryan and crew can exterminate, lay the smackdown for you. I always wanted to make a video game that has its own live DJ, talk back, and it tied into similar to GTA 6. Oh, yeah, GTA. And GTA 6, Bolly's waiting for. Whoa, you speak so fast, eloquently like a bullet train. Thank you. Excellent. Fast, excellent, like a bullet train. Thank you. He would appreciate a shout out, kind of new. All right, I'll definitely get into and look up Nick's music and everything. We'll give him a shout out, my brother. Woo, I appreciate you saying that. I try to get as fast as I can. All right, like, subscribe, and share on the feed, ladies and gentlemen. And if you want to help a brother out, all you got to do is go to my patreon.com/RyanORadio. That's patreon.com/RyanORadio. And send us a little bit of money if you want to. Also, you can go to $RyanShelander. That's $RyanShelander on the Cash App and help a brother out. He's got bills to pay too. See, I'm not sitting here lying to you saying it's going to get you into heaven or it's going to keep this going. No, man. Whatever you send to me helps me out. I don't lie. Agree, Ryan. Could rival Eminem in rap God at times. Oh, wow. I appreciate that. Sorry I talk a little too fast sometimes. I just try to get this stuff in there. Show me the money. That's what Pete says. There you go. Like a Chinese blank train. Can't say that on there, but there you go. Can't say that word on the air. Blankety blank. Oh, we'll do it when I learn his music first. A little bit's back. I can't pick between the Zodiac. Is Jack the Ripper. They are both mysterious. You're the second one that said that on the feed. 50 Cent speaks like Brandy taken after vodka. Which of these serial killers is the most mysterious? And he says they both are. 30% is Jack the Ripper, 39% Zodiac Killer, 15% going to H.H. Holmes, the hotel management owner that did experiments on some of his guests, and 15% say other. All right, guys, round one. Book coffee. Book coffee? Yeah, we were talking about that earlier, Josephine. Time travel. 23 minutes past the hour. Sun's trying to come out now. Still to come, we're going to talk about the vampire cult killer and everything. You almost got me. I know it's an old Howard Stern prank. But I also thought that I thought that somebody had took that name and started a punk rock group up with it. Because punk rock and heavy metal bands usually would do something like that. Ryan needs glasses to match Howard Stern. Yeah, let's put the glasses on. I got my shades. So here we go. Zodiac Killer for me, says Pete. We've got Book of the Dead podcast host Courtney Liso join us in the final period. We're going to be talking about the vampire cult killer, the vampire leader himself, Count Rod Ferrell. We'll get into him in the next period. No, pray, man. You're not trolling. You're having a good time. Stay with us, man. Stay with us. We love people like you, man. Usually people like you run out the real trolls. You're not a troll. Looking good, Howard Stern. I can't believe he's 70 years old already and have Benton, Michigan says 2 thumbs up. Excellent website you have. Oh, thank you from Benton, Michigan. I love Michigan. Jason, thank you very much. Love Michigan too. Love it. Every single place. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you. Can you draw a yeet on for your hard? Yeet. There you go. I'm the same guy as before. Laugh out loud. Different. I'm the same guy as before. Laugh out loud. Wait, what? Let's see. I'm the same guy as before. Laugh out loud. Different account was trying to complete my mission. Oh, okay. Which different guy? Not the racist guy, I hope. Yeet. We're going to yeet them to death, aren't we, Logan Paul Jr.? We're going to take a break. More coming up after the break. We're going to talk about some true crime. Doc Brown's with us. I say Chopper Reed from Australia. Hello, beautiful people. Doc Brown's with us from Australia this morning. Let's jump into it. Break. Back in a moment. More true crime. And still to come, Courtney Liso from the Book of the Dead podcast. He's Howard. That's a compliment. I like to be looking at Howard Stern. Eat.
And into your Friday, considerable cloudiness, a straight shower, afternoon shower if possible. High near 84, light and variable winds. Partly cloudy for your Friday night, areas of patch and fog, low near 68.
I guess we still have serial killers out today. We just don't talk about them as much. Well, he made a name for himself, so now he gets paid millions of dollars and he don't have to do anything but interview celebrities. It's like, Howard, you're going to make this much money interviewing celebrities and, doing the things he used to do on satellite radio just is not, how you say, it's not. It's not competitive. Everybody does the same thing on there. I want to get on a satellite radio show one day. But I'm on real radio, so. Yep, you have to call him. You have to call him LP Junior now. Yeet. But you know he's RW. Yeet. Howard is just a drug addict. Oh. Josephine says Howard is just a drug addict. Oh, fart, in my opinion. Do some swap shop prank calls. Wait till next hour when they start calling me. If once we get Courtney off the air, we always end the show with prank calls. We always end the show with prank calls. Thanks to all these people trying to sell free insurance from India. They're starting to call this station a lot less, especially when I'm telling them it's a pizzeria or that Frankie from the Bronx expected that package at 2:00 today, and Frankie's not a guy you want to mess with. Frankie's part of the family. They hang up immediately when they think the family's involved. Josephine.
Commercial insurance. We're your one-stop shop for your insurance needs. www.insurewithellsworth.com 770-755.
Mini LP, he's going to be the world U.S. champion soon again. U.S. champion, Mini Logan Paul.
We take pride in providing personalized service. Come to Southern States Bank for great service comes naturally. Visit us today or check us out at southernstatesbank.net.
Oh, we'll be getting that.
Your community, your bank. Equal housing lender, member FDIC, NMLS number 410611.
This is Holly Reese with Warrior Defenders. Tune in every Monday at 10:30 a.m. for Empower Strikes Back on WQEE, the Key 99.1 FM.
Hi, this is Mark Suriano, asking you to tune in to Let Go and Let God every Sunday at 9:30 a.m. right here on WQEE. We help those who are struggling with their faith or have doubts through discussion, inspirational stories, and contemporary Christian music. So
Josephine.
Let Go and Let God, Sunday mornings at 9:30 a.m. right here on WQEE.
Hello, everyone. This is
Will I come to Australia on holiday? Maybe one day.
I play all vinyl 45s. You're listening to WQEE 99.1 FM, Newton, Georgia.
Woo! You hear that in the background, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. D Generation X, or the RyanORadio Penitentiary, likes to present yours truly, the five-time tag team champions. I'm just kidding. I'm doing that for Logan. Good morning. Welcome back into RyanORadio Penitentiary. We're going to get into some true crime news for you. Which of these serial killers are the most mysterious? Jack the Ripper, 37%. Zodiac Killer, 34%. H.H. Holmes, 13%. And others, 16% of our votes. All right, we're going to talk about some killers and destruction and all that kind of stuff as we head into the vampire cult. We're going to talk about that. We're going to go into the dark next year in the vampire cult with Courtney Liso from the Book of the Dead of the podcast, Book of the Dead podcast. Guys, not as many votes today as we had yesterday. Man, we had about 227 votes at the end of the morning yesterday. And this morning, yeah, we're not quite there yet, but hopefully we can get over 100 this morning before the end of the hour. So let's jump into it. Deputies arrested a blood-covered 37-year-old man for beating another man to death after, he failed to return his borrowed vehicle on time. Don't ever borrow a vehicle from somebody. Don't ever do that. On May 21st, shortly after 3:30 p.m., deputies responded to the home in Shore Drive in Palm Harbor, Florida, after a 911 caller said his neighbor confessed to killing someone. Authorities then found the suspect, Matthew Weldon, covered in blood and standing in front of his residence. Weldon reportedly pointed to the home and said he's dead. Deputies walked in and found 49-year-old Carol Bryan on the back patio. The victim had suffered a blunt force injuries to the head, neck, and arm, and was pronounced dead at the scene. Further investigation revealed that Weldon and Bryan allegedly met 2 weeks prior at a bar in Clearwater, Florida. There you go, Clearwater, Florida. That tells you everything you need to know. And later, Weldon offered to lend Bryan his vehicle. Weldon became angry when Bryan reportedly failed to return the car on time. So he remains behind the bars for second-degree murder. Wow. Don't borrow somebody's car. You might make them mad. Josephine says, we have a place here where you can swim in a pool with a huge croc, like in a big glass tank, but scared of it. What? Swimming with crocodiles? Not my deal. You guys can do it. Wow. So make sure you guys be on the lookout if you're going to borrow a vehicle, make sure you return it on time because somebody might come get it and take care of you. Wow. Let's go to Green Bay, Wisconsin. Wisconsin, the cheese state. Wisconsin. The Green Bay Packer fans, but people in Chicago would be happy about this one going, hey, yeah, you always make fun of us shooting people. Let's hear this. A judge ordered a 49-year-old man to serve 2 consecutive life sentences in prison for killing his girlfriend and her friend back in January of 2023. The local television station there reported the addition to the life sentences while pro Richard Sacco must pay over $16,000 in restitution. While Richard was convicted in March of 2 counts of first-degree murder and intentional homicide with deadly weapons, criminal damage to property, and much more. On January 29th of last year, Green Bay police reported to a home and found 2 women were stabbed to death. Richard fled to Wisconsin, but he was apprehended the same day in Arkansas. He thought he was going to get away with it. He told police that he saw his girlfriend, Rhonda, and her friend Paula in a compromising position, and he just got mad because he felt humiliated and snapped. So this guy snapped and killed a woman, his girlfriend, and the girlfriend's female friend because they were, I guess, doing something together. And he felt humiliated. Most men would have been like, where's my camera? Give me a camera phone. Take a video of this. I'm just kidding. Most men wouldn't. No, good men wouldn't do that. But there is some men out there that wouldn't have cared. They wouldn't have killed their girlfriend for that. They'd be like, oh, well, can I video this? Wow. So Richard will appeal his conviction because his anger, he argues he killed both of them in self-defense. He reportedly said that the sentence hearing that people would want him to show remorse at, and I feel nothing. So he killed 2 women in self-defense because they were together. And one of them was his girlfriend. Oh my goodness. Wow. I knew that was going to be one. That's our daily dumb crook of the day. That's our dumb crook of the day is this Richard Sacco. He is the dumb crook of the day because he killed 2 women instead of just saying, all right, I'm done with her. I'm going on about my business. Or being like some other men and go, I'm going to video this. No, I'm not going to use it in court or anything. I'm just going to video it for my personal use. Good Lord. You wouldn't angry me when I get angry. He said it was in self-defense. I mean, they were getting it on, man. It wasn't my fault. They made me mad. They shouldn't have been getting it on in her house. In her house. Wasn't even my house I went to. I love how people just self-defense everything. It's self-defense when I kill somebody for cheating on me. It's self-defense when it's my house and I beat them down. It's self-defense when I kill them because they were cutting grass near me. Oh my God. Self-defense. Next thing you're going to tell me is self-defense when somebody comes up to you and goes, you know what? I disagree with you politically. Pop! They didn't like the same person I liked. Wow. All I can say is wow. Uh-oh. And this sounds like a true crime that's going to be on one of those networks. Like it would be on the ID channel, but also it'd be on it'd be like women that are scorned or something and kill their lovers. A Bridgeview, Illinois woman, 33 years old, and her 20-year-old secret boyfriend are accused of plotting to kill the woman's boyfriend so they could move in together and be in a relationship. All she had to do was break up with him. Now, explain to me, ladies and gentlemen, why you would just break up with somebody if you want to be in another relationship. On Wednesday, May 15th, the victim was shot and killed while walking to his car at his apartment complex at the 7300 block of West 79th Street. Bridgeview police officers responded to the scene and found the man deceased on the side of the building. According to them, he tried to protect himself with a pocket knife, but the suspect, Anthony Karan, allegedly shot him twice. Surveillance video reportedly showing Anthony leaving the scene in a red car while officers later located him where? Where? At a McDonald's. He was getting him a Big Mac meal. Yep, I just killed off that guy. I've got his girlfriend now. I'm going to go and get me a Happy Meal. 20, I'm 20. She's older. I'm going to get me a Happy Meal. I like the little toy in it. I did a good job. He was arrested 2 days later on February 17th on charges of first-degree murder. His girlfriend reportedly worked at the same McDonald's, and both of them were, texting back and forth about moving in together. And she said, "We got to get rid of him, kill him." Well, the woman, Rita Whiskey is her last name. Miss Rita Whiskey was arrested for soliciting to commit murder, while Anthony reportedly confessed to shooting the victim and gave details. The man leaves behind a 12-year-old son and a 10-year-old daughter. Wow. Wishy-washy says, "Yo, just to say I never slept yet. And to the folks on here, don't be like me. Just close your eyeballs." Wow. Thank you, wishy-washy. There you go. Say it 5 times right. I'll finally get your name right. So if you're going to get in a relationship with somebody else, just leave the person you're with. Don't kill them. Don't kill them. Just don't kill them. All right, we're about 20 minutes away from the top of the hour. We're still on at 67 degrees under kind of mostly cloudy skies out there. Type of temperature brought to you by Active Pest Control. Summer, winter, spring, fall. We don't care for those rodents, critters, or gooey things at all. Still more to come. We've got Courtney Liso from the Book of the Dead podcast. She will join us next hour. We're going to talk about the vampire cult killer. Ooh, that's going to be excellent on this Thursday. And still to come, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if it's going to be tomorrow or next Friday, but we're going to invite members of Moms for Liberty to be on the show as well. Say that 10 times in a row. Wishy-washy. 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 I got it wrong. I lost. All right. Officials in Oklahoma City say a 22-year-old man this month, 3 days after he allegedly killed his parents and sister, was captured. According to investigators in Oklahoma, May 11th, approximately 11:30 a.m., the police department there responded to a home where they found 2 adult females and 1 male deceased from apparently gunshot wound. The victims were James and Patty Mayhuge and their daughter, Shiley. Police say that an AR-15 rifle was used and determined that Jacob, which is the son of James and Patty and the brother of the female victim, purchased the weapon on April 25th. Investigators also learned that Jacob allegedly told his girlfriend on May 10th that he was going to eat pizza at his parents' home, and he left her place about 4:40 p.m. And then police reportedly discovered a piece of pizza and a full pizza at the victim's restaurant, a home, I should say. So he didn't lie. He didn't go get pizza, but he killed his parents and sister. No reason why he killed his parents and sister. Maybe because they didn't believe in the way he believed. I don't know. Maybe he was smoking that 180 proof THC and thought they were shapeshifters, and he had to take them out. I don't know. But the moral of this story is never order a pizza for your grown son. Make him order his own pizza. Wow. Wow, man. These people are sick today. God bless them for sure. We're going to take a break, ladies and germs. That's right. That's right. We got more coming up for you. The original blue bean. Hey, Red, why are you not talking? I know you're watching. I know all of you watching. Why are you not talking? Bolly's talking. He's talking since the beginning. Thank you, Bolly, for participation since the beginning. You know, maybe we should do those experiments on criminals, Bolly. Back in a moment, ladies and gentlemen. Which of these serial killers is the most mysterious? 39% say Jack the Ripper. 32% say Zodiac Killer. 15% say other, and 15% H.H. Holmes. Back in a moment. More true crime on this True Crime Thursday. Yeet. That's for you. Yeet. You know who that's for. Wow.
Tuesday at 11 a.m. Tune in so your life can be radically changed forever because God's love and care.
You're walking, shopping, or on your favorite trail. You get that feeling somebody's coming up on you.
Yeah, they drug people.
Be prepared in today's world. Hi, I'm Holly Reese. I'm the founder of Warrior Defenders. As a certified tactical self-defense instructor, I'm specializing.
Well, Sting's son is going to be wrestling. Becoming a wrestler, one of them.
With technical drills to build their survival skills, you can be your own hero. Classes and private seminars are available. Learn today how to start tomorrow. Warrior Defenders.
Baseball fried chicken.
Hey!
Back in a brand new location. 31 Jackson Street, Suite A here in Newton. Same great taste. The best chicken around. Fish dinners.
Well, I don't listen to rap music, Robert, but I think that you'd have to ask some of my preacher shows I have here to talk about that and play Christian rap. They'll tell you that some of it does, and some of it causes people to feel like that's the lifestyle they have to be in. But I don't think it keeps the prisons filled. I don't think it's just that music. That'd be the same thing as saying country music keeps the Klan in business. So, Ryan, a couple of months ago, a guy on his first day on the job as a doctor, he was 18. He went to McDonald's for lunch. He was sitting in the ambulance, and some guy opened the door, opens the door, steps in, and he's dead. What? I believe that, Bolly. I'm not saying it's not true. You live there. A lot of things contribute to our lifestyles because we think that that's the way we should be. But sometimes these people are they do things wrong. They're just down wrong paths and they do wrong, and they're just going to do wrong. And what they're into is partially influenced. They're, same thing as a vampire killer we're going to talk about next hour. He was probably into Marilyn Manson or something like that back when this started. And I don't like Marilyn Manson whatsoever, but some people do. So it'd be kind of hard to blame him wanting to be a vampire on that. So, like I said, I don't think music has too much to do with what people do in life. I think it's partial influence on who you want to be. J.O., please help. Who's J.O.? You got that right, Bolly. I'm not going to get into that because you got too many people fight for one side or the other. I've never understood it. Wow. Michael Jackson. I don't think Michael Jackson ever blamed anybody for his crimes. He just took it. He's just like, woohoo, I like it. Woohoo. What you doing there? Michael Jackson in the house today, listening to RyanORadio Penitentiary. Oh yeah, I'm on that list. It's the list that everybody else is on too. But you still say I'm the bad guy. But I've been hanging out with 2 former presidents. Woo-hoo! All right, there you go. There you go. Welcome back into RyanORadio Penitentiary. Please do send that on to me, and I will be happy to do it. Help out. All right, ladies and gentlemen. One more time. Which of these serial killers is the most mysterious? Jack the Ripper, 36% of the votes. 34 going to the wonderfully Zodiac Killer. Also, H.H. Holmes with 16% of the votes and 13% of the votes with other. John, I appreciate that. Jack all the way, he says. I appreciate that. Just want to praise you. Thank you. I appreciate that, brother. Like, subscribe, and share. You guys send it out to everybody. If you want to help a brother out, maybe help a brother out by going to the patreon.com/RyanORadio, or you can go to my Cash App at $RyanShelander, RyanShelander, and you can drop a little something in there. And I'm not going to tell you it's for that if you do that, you give me a $10 seed, give me $100 seed, you're going to get $1 million seed back. I'm not going to tell you all that. I'm just going to give me whatever you want. Help out a brother. because I use it for what I need to do. Oh, I'm not RVD. I look better than that. EMK wants to argue, start an argument. Get him, Logan Paul Jr. You know about wrestling. I'm RyanORadio Penitentiary. You're in lockdown with my inmates. Yep. Good question. You said, Josephine says, the guy with the hotel, didn't they make a series of him? Yes. H.H. Holmes, they did a number of things. They also included him in part of the, how you would say, American Horror Story a few years ago. And they've incorporated him in many series too in the past. So yes, H.H. Holmes, a doctor, a scientist doctor or somebody in that era, opened up a hotel and kidnapping so many people. Thank you, EMK. EMK is with us this morning. All right, one more true crime news before one of our guests come on. A couple in Dothan, Alabama. This down in Alabama, boy, down there where they get all cousin Leroy together. Down in Dothan. A couple in Dothan, Alabama stands accused of killing a 54-year-old man and leaving his body underneath his own home. On May 8th, police went in for a welfare check on Patrick Parsons. Upon arrival, they noticed a smell that they all know when it comes to death. Police left the scene and looked for, police noticed this odor coming from the home. Police learned that 33-year-old Courtney Ingram and 31-year-old Richard Bishop were the last people they seen with Patrick alive. The couple left in the victim's car. A few days later, they found the victim's truck. And it's not his car, but his truck. A few days later, they found his truck in Eufaula, Alabama. The couple was then arrested there and sent back. Wow. Gonna take that old man for his money? That's just not right. You gonna take that old man for his money? There's something wrong with you, man. There's just something completely wrong when people do that. Completely wrong when people do that. A couple thought they were going to get away with it. We kill him and put him under there. We leave with his truck. Nobody will know. Good night, beautiful people. Good night, Jack Brown. We just never know. They will never connect his death and his murder to us taking his pickup truck and his money. Criminals are very smart, right? They think it all out before they do anything. Yeah, we're smart. That's right, Bo. We're smart. Doc Brown, did you say something that I missed in there? I apologize if I did. We're going to pray for you. You got to eat your cornbread. Thank you, brother. I got that video. Let's see here. There you go. I got to be at work at 6 a.m. Won't work too hard. Massive N. I hope you ain't coming here trying to say the N word in there. No problem, guys. Stay tuned for those that can. We got a big show coming up for you with Courtney Liso from the Book of the Dead podcast. We're going to talk about the vampire cult here with Rod Ferrell and his followers and murdering one of his followers' parents. Woo! That's all coming up for you. Period number 3 of RyanORadio Penitentiary. You in lockdown. And for those that are coming in, I'm going to be a troll. Welcome to my inmates. These are not trolls. These are inmates. And you don't want to be messing around with them. Especially when the OGs, Gail and Cher, come in. They got more tattoos than everybody else. They run the place. They don't. I'm just kidding. Since it's called a penitentiary, they run the place. You have a good night too. Yeet to you, my friend. Yeet. Is this thing going to freeze up where I can't get my questions? Oh, no. You're not going to freeze up on me. No, you're not. Not at all. If you do, we're going to send you the racist. Polly says, I hate tattoos. Well, now that you're as an inmate in the penitentiary, we're going to tattoo you with a tattoo with my name. I'm just kidding. No, it's not going to do that. Is it? Back in a moment. Good morning.
Good morning.
How you doing this morning?
Good. How are you doing?
I am doing good. Doing great for for a Thursday morning. I was going to say Monday. Sorry. Oh, got to try to get these questions up. All of a sudden, my computer wants to act up the minute it's time for you to come on.
Oh, of course.
Of course. Hopefully, it don't take 10 minutes for it to come up, or I won't have the questions for you. Oh, Lord. Yeah, I figured you were coming on today, so I was just I was waiting for you to send over what we were going to talk about. I figured you'd send that by last night, so I was already promoting.
We're all mixed up.
Oh, no problem. Well, that's what happens when you got all kind of things going on.
Yeah, it's been a week.
Oh, I'm sure I understand. But hey, now that it's been a week and it's only Thursday, just think you got the weekend ahead, Memorial Day weekend. You can just rest this weekend, possibly.
Yes. Hopefully what I can do.
Unless everybody's having a barbecue or something you got to go to.
We might have one.
Okay, well, there you go. Well, then you'll relax this weekend for that.
Yes.
I hear you. I'm taking Monday off, and I'm like, wow, I'm getting a day off.
Isn't it nice when that happens?
It is nice every once in a while that you go, oh, you're going to take a day off? Wow. I didn't know people did that anymore since I've been in radio.
Yeah, I bet.
I didn't know what days off were. I'm usually here on those days off for other people. So I'm like, I'm taking Monday off. I got everything I need this week done. And when you sent me this one, I was like, hey, I know who this cult guy, this vampire guy is. I remember this.
Okay.
I remember this guy. Yeah, I remember this story. Because when I started looking.
This one, yeah, it's usually people, from what I can gather, either people know this case completely or they have no idea what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I remembered it. I was like, uh-oh. So this is that guy. Like, I know who this guy is. And he's trying to get out now. He's trying to like, hey, I done served what time I served. I'm ready to get out. There's a recent court. He appeared in court recently.
He's trying to appeal his one of the guys, his sentence was changed because of like a law.
Yeah.
That has come out in the Supreme Court, basically saying that you can't try minors or you can't give minors adult sentences.
Yes, that's what it was. Well, he might win that on appeal or something because
He hasn't yet. Trust me, guys.
well, I know the brother of the victims are like, no, he doesn't need to get out.
No.
But I seen him when he first went in, and now he's lost all his hair. As a vampire, he hasn't aged very well. So
No, he has not.
he's supposed to still have that long black hair and look like that little kid. But then it's like, wait a minute, dude, you got no hair. Where are the fangs
The
at?
vampire lifestyle didn't work out for him.
No, it didn't work out for him. Did not work out for him at all. So, but yeah, when I saw it, I was like, I know this story. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm probably going to have to come off for a moment because I got to get stuff. I'll be back. Hold on, guys. Computers.
So great. Wishbone Fried Chicken, 31 Jackson Street, Suite A, here in Newton.
Hey there, folks. Looking for the top expert in Medicare, health insurance, and life insurance? Look no further than CP Financial. Meet Charmaine, your trusted agent. Charmaine works with multiple companies, ensuring you get the options tailored just for you. Why settle for less when you can have the best? 706-525-5931 and speak to Charmaine. CP Financial top local sales agent. Your peace of mind is just a call away.
Kelly Force is Newton's own addiction recovery support center.
All right.
Our services are no cost, and all our information is available on our website at www.kellyforce.org or find us on Facebook. This teenage vampire cult is in need of some new blood. So Rod and 3 of his so-called disciples, Charity Kesey, Scott Anderson, and David Cooper, set off in Scott's car from Murray, Kentucky, heading in the direction of Daytona Beach, Florida. Home to the famed Daytona Speedway, a beautiful beach on the so-called Fun Coast, and to 15-year-old Heather Wendell, who lives in nearby town of Eustis, and is planning to run away with Rod to join his vampire cult. Rod tells our special correspondent Phil Chalmers, author of the Encyclopedia of Teen Killers, that he met Heather a year earlier after he and his mother Sandra had briefly moved from Kentucky to Florida. And like Rod, Heather is a troubled kid who allegedly told him she was being mistreated by her parents, Richard and Neal. She implied that her father was doing hurting, her mother was doing heavy stuff. Rod says he felt empathy with Heather because he claims he had been abused by a family member, and she had moved on with his history. And Heather had allegedly asked him to do something for her. Did Heather ask you for it? She said something about, if I asked you, would you kill me? They're not here for just relatives, here for abuse. Thanks for listening to Braves Country right here on the feed.
All right, we're getting ready to go on, Courtney.
All right, good.
YouTube today. YouTube.com/@BravesCountry. You're listening to WQEE 99.1 FM, the key in Newton, Georgia.
Welcome into period number 3, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. It's a True Crime Thursday. We hope you're having a great morning so far. 50,000 plus of you worldwide on the Shoutcast. Shout it out loud. Across the RyanORadio media page. Earth Rock Radio, New Mexico, Arizona, and the Navajo Nation. We're across the British Columbia Isles of Canada, and finally, the Jordan Communication and Family Radio Stations, East Alabama, West Georgia, including right here, the Talk of Atlanta. The one, the only, 99.1 FM, WQEE, the key, home of Southern sports, inspirational talk, and much, much more. It's True Crime Thursday. We're going to go inside a vampire cult next. So stay with us as we get ready to kick off hour number 3. And our special guest this morning is from the Book of the Dead podcast with her co-host with her mother. Please welcome Courtney Liso. Please welcome Courtney this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
How you doing on this wonderful TGIT? Because most people are going to be off for maybe 3 to 4 days this weekend for Memorial Day. So.
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm actually off for once for Memorial Day weekend, so we're doing good.
Wow. I know this is probably exciting. This is probably like, you work in the industry you worked in. I work in the industry I work in. Having a day off, it's like, is this what these other people do on days off?
Yeah, right? Exactly. Like, what do I do with myself?
Yeah.
Have a day off?
Well, you got a full weekend of watching true crime shows and stuff. Think about it.
Oh, yeah.
Got a lot of new true crime stuff out there right now. And then, of course, our question. I can tell you our poll question yesterday was a true crime poll question, too. We got 227 people vote on that. So they love true crime. I can tell you that. Today's question also deals with killers and serial killers. Which of these serial killers is the most mysterious? Is it Jack the Ripper, 43% so far, Zodiac Killer, 29%, H.H. Holmes, 14%, and other 14%. So which would you pick, Courtney?
Jack the Ripper. Jack the Ripper fascinates me.
Right.
Literally no one knows who he is. There are theories that he was Lewis Carroll, the writer of Alice in Wonderland.
Uh-huh.
Like, there's some people say that he was really a woman. Like, fascinates me. And, like, H.H. Holmes is, like, really interesting, but everyone knows who H.H. Holmes is. Like,
Yep.
H.H. Holmes.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting on him as they've made a lot of shows about all these people. And H.H. Holmes was used in everything from American Horror Story to other stories, combining things. And actually one time they combined Jack the Ripper with going through time, and he went into the future in the 80s and started killing people. And he was like a writer too. I don't know. They just had all kinds of things. So I love how they just combined all that. But yeah, so I think it's cool that these poll questions are hitting there. So he's Jack the Ripper for you and so many others. That so far, Jack the Ripper is the number one out of all of our listeners. Good morning, Monty. Thank you. So let's get into this. I want to talk a little bit about this. I played a little bit of the interview with Rod here a few moments ago, but I want to dive into this vampire cult killers, vampire cult killer. Let's talk a little bit about this. Let's talk about who this Rod Ferrell is, and let's get into him a little bit. I mean, I've seen interviews with him. I remember this story and everything. So let's begin talking about Rod.
Okay, so Rod Ferrell was born in Murray, Kentucky on March 28, 1980 to a teen single mother. And his mother was not the best mom. She was a wild child. And she had a really not great relationship with her son. Even Rod said, like, their relationship was questionable at best.
Mm-hmm.
One of the few things that they bonded over was vampire movies.
Oh.
And Rod was kind of an introverted kid at first. Yeah, he played a lot of Dungeons and Dragons. He was really into, like, these fantastical games and kind of living in his head.
I guess it is.
And when he was a young teenager, his mom introduced him to a man, or an older teenager, I should say.
Okay.
Stephen Murphy. And apparently Stephen Murphy was a vampire.
Oh, okay. All right. All right.
You know, whatever. So
Right.
he's like, I can turn you into a vampire. But Stephen Murphy's whole thing was, you know, vampires, he
Oh, okay.
Murphy did not believe in harming humans.
Okay.
Harming regular people. He was very against that because he was really he was more into the religious views of what a vampire could be.
Okay. I see.
Rod was not.
Yeah, I could tell that. Rod was the opposite. Well, what was his childhood like?
What happened?
I said, what was his childhood like?
So his childhood was very volatile. He alleged that he was abused by his grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
There are federal records of this accusation, but nothing ever happened with the grandfather. And apparently his mom, Sandra, said, yeah, I was abused by my dad too. Her sister corroborated that, but nothing ever happened with the grandpa. So he didn't have a great childhood.
Right.
And he grew up kind of retreating into this fantasy world where he swore that he was like a 500-year-old vampire named Sago. He was, he remembered growing up in like France, in like the bureaucracy and this whole crazy life he alleged that he had. But according to Stephen Murphy, Rod was really charismatic. So I think he could convince a lot of people that he was like that, or that this was really a thing. So in 1990, his mom moved him to Eustis, Florida.
Right.
He meets a girl named Heather Wendorf in school. And Heather was a good girl.
Okay.
She was, really good at school. She came from a really nice, normal family.
All right.
Her sister was a cheerleader. They went to Disney. Regular, average, normal, nice family. And Heather had a thing for Rod. Rod was a bad boy. He had long black hair. He was, kind of goth. And he was telling her all about how he's a vampire. So he kind of draws Heather into this weird fantasy world where she's like, well, I don't know if what he's saying is really true, but the idea sounds great. And what if it is true?
Right.
So soon after moving, Rod actually moved back to Murray with his mom.
Right.
But he and Heather spent a lot of time talking on the phone, and she's like, I want you to take me away with you. I want to be a vampire. She's like, you're not ready for that. One day I'm going to come back for you. Don't worry. Meanwhile, he's got another girlfriend.
Oh, wow.
Living his best vampire life. He in the woods. He's developing his own vampire cult.
Oh.
He draws in another young man and another young woman, in addition to his girlfriend. He's got his own little vampire cult that he's wreaking havoc in Murray.
Right.
And at some point, he goes into an animal shelter, and he and the other young man, Scott, kill a bunch of animals, and he's bragging about it. It's it got a little crazy.
Yeah.
And then he decides one day, you know what? We're going to go to New Orleans, and we're going to be among our own kind.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. So this whole thing, what I gather right now is Rod is besides being cunning and a con man, he's a very smart cat. He studied a lot of things. So with that being said, I don't believe he thought he was really a vampire, but did he really believe he was a vampire?
That's the thing I've gone back and forth with, and I've talked to I did a whole interview with Aphrodite Jones about this, and we were discussing it, and we came to the consensus that part of him, I think, really did believe it. I think he had blurred the line from, what was fiction and nonfiction.
Right.
And he had kind of stepped out of reality a little bit, whether that had to do with his, But I
Okay.
think also another part of him was like, oh, like I like this control that I have over people.
Right.
They're afraid of me. They'll follow me blindly because they think I'm this 500-year-old vampire. And,
Right.
I think it was a mix of both.
Okay.
And it kind of started out with like, because he was really into, like fantasy and Dungeons and Dragons.
Right.
Movies.
Yeah.
If you want to think you're a vampire, that's fine.
Yeah.
But he took it to this extreme where they were actually drinking each other's blood, which
Dangerous.
is wildly unsafe.
Yes, dangerous.
Okay.
Yeah.
He took it to like this extreme.
Right. He did. He went to the extreme, as what I'm gathering for this situation, and what we've talking about him a little bit as we're beginning to talk about Rod and everything. I do feel like he knew what he was doing. Partly, I do feel like he had control over these people, and I feel like that lifestyle was that way. And then growing up in a community like Murray, that's probably what a big influence on somebody who is opposite. When everybody around you is, let's just say, country and hillbilly or whatever, country this and southern this and everything. I think a part of this could have been he got attracted to that to be opposite of everybody in that community as well.
Absolutely. He grew up in a household where his grandparents were incredibly strict Christians.
Right.
You're heading into Bible Belt territory.
Exactly.
Super strict views on that, and I think he was trying to rebel. And then the other part of it was that he had this, he was really charismatic, but he preyed on people that were really lonely.
Right.
Tina Cooper and Scott Anderson were both really, really lonely. They really didn't have any friends, and he paid attention to them, and it was like, you're paying attention to me, like, I'll do whatever you want, like I have friends now.
Right. Well, in the community that they were in, being in the area like a Bible Belt and everything, they were probably shunned by people at school. And of course, Rod seems like the type of person that he don't care about, quote, popularity. He was just, quote, I'm a leader and I'm who I am and I'm doing my thing. So I can see that. If he wanted to be different than everybody around there, he could have just listened to Metallica or Pantera and been a goth kid instead of a vampire. But there's also people who live this kind of lifestyle too, Courtney, that are believing this type of lifestyle, like you were speaking of, the one he had met earlier, that they don't believe in actually murders and deaths and all this other stuff, that they do portions of it in a religious way. So Rod, in other words, instead, he did not learn the proper way of being a vampire. He took it in his own way from movies he watched, basically.
Exactly. And I've talked about this in other cases where like people were into Satanism. Like there's, be into whatever you want to be into, but there's like the perverted version of everything, and that's where you get into trouble is you go into this perverted vision of whatever it is that you're into, and that's where heavy metal music gets a bad rap because it's all satanic music, and it's like, no, not every person that Slipknot is gonna murder everyone.
Exactly.
But it's not like that. They're taking it and twisting it into a perverted way.
Exactly. It definitely. I remember the trial for Judas Priest years ago. I remember learning about that when I was much, much young, but I remember when Judas Priest went to court when a fan killed themselves and everything. So, and they try to blame Judas Priest for that. So yeah, a lot of times people will blame music, whatever type of music it is. We're going to talk about Heather here in just a few moments. She brought her name up earlier, a good girl from Florida who kind of fell in love with Rod. So let's learn a little bit more about her. We know she's a cheerleader and she made good grades, but she liked that bad boy. So let's learn more about Heather.
So Heather, again, she came from a really good family. From what I understood, her parents were just really great. They would take her on family vacations. And when Heather met Rod, she started to change. She, got
Mm-hmm.
You know, she was hanging decapitated Barbie dolls off of like her backpack and things like that. But she was getting a little weird. And from what I understand, her parents were kind of like, all right, well, you know, Heather's maybe going through a little bit of a change, but we're going to let her express herself creatively. Like, they were trying to support her, but Heather started going to an extreme. You know, she was hanging, you know, inverted crosses up in her room and was self-harming, but not to, you know, not because she was depressed, because she wanted to be a vampire. And, you know, her parents were getting really concerned. And when Rod moved back to Kentucky, they spent hours on the phone. Like hours and hours. She was running up insane phone bills. And that's when her parents were finally like, we don't know who you're talking to, but you need to stop. Like, this is expensive. You need to stop. And I think it started coming to a point where she felt like they were really like oppressing her, and she couldn't, you know, do what she wanted to do, and she wanted to be free. And she hated her parents because they were like just suppressing her dreams, and she wanted to go out and, you know, be a vampire.
Right.
So maybe she wanted to be a vampire, but she wanted to go out and do all this. She felt like her parents were holding her back. So there was a resentment for her parents there. And apparently, at least at one point, she had said to Rob, like, I wish my parents were dead.
Wow.
You know.
Wow. Well, I tell you what, we'll talk more about Heather and her thoughts. You know, being a rebellious teen is one thing, because a lot of people go through that. Most all of us go through that in our past. But what they did, going a little too far, we'll talk more about this. We're back with Book of the Dead's Courtney is with us from Book of the Dead podcast, which is a podcast, a true crime podcast that she shares with her mother, talking about true crime. We'll tell you when the next episode is coming out. More on the vampire cult killers, Rod, Heather, and the bunch is next. We'll find out what happened to Heather's parents and more right after this break, so stay with us. We cover, but why you want to know, we cover, radio station covers Carrollton, Coweta, and Heard counties, get into Troup County. So that's how far we get out. So there you go, bro. Sorry about that. I was in the middle. You couldn't read lips, so. This girl sounds like she sounds like she got all messed up in the head. Sounds like she fell in love with the wrong.
I don't even know what happened. It was like she had what would be considered for a lot of people like a perfect life. Very normal, very safe, they did fun things, and it was like she wasn't satisfied.
Well, that was back in the day in the 90s, and little cheerleader girls like the long-haired guys and their everything. So it was lucky for me back then too. So, you know, back because I was when all this happened, I think I was just getting into high school or something like that. So, but she probably fell in love with the wrong guy and went too far. That's basically what all this was.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, definitely. I think was part of it. I think he really drew her in with like this life that was so different from hers.
Ken, what's up, brother? Yeah. A lot of times, anytime you can be different than all your friends and different than anything, you know, she grew up, she was in Florida, so there was more diversity there than where he grew up, but she probably just got into it with him. And he kept telling her, you're not ready. I'm a 5-year-old vampire. I bet you her and all the other people around him believed him, though. I bet they all believed it. Whether he believed it or not, I bet they all did.
I think they believed him to an extent. Like, and that was the thing that always, like, I always questioned with Heather, because, like, he was so smart.
Yeah.
I'm like, did you really believe him, or did you believe this idea that he was creating?
Could have been a little bit of both. I mean, smart people. Like I said, she's been a smart young lady at the time. She probably, to be honest, she probably just fell in love and wanted to believe what anything he said. And she was just ready to get out from under her parents' so-called strict rules. So that's probably what it all was with her. With him, I think he was a little bit mental and I think he was partially a con man and partially mental. So, all right. All right, we're coming back. Grab my headsets. Welcome back into the RyanORadio Penitentiary. We've got Courtney Liso from the Book of the Dead podcast with us talking about the vampire cult killers. Vampire cult killers is what we're talking about this morning. Courtney, we're going to continue talking about Heather. Why would Heather go along with Rod telling her about being able to become a vampire and become immortal? Why did she go along with that, do you think?
I think it was because he was feeding her this idea of being able to live a life where she could travel and, live forever and see all these amazing things.
Right.
But I think she also questioned some of it,
Right.
How were you really 500 years old?
Mm-hmm.
How did you really experience all these things? But he could really convince her, and he would when she would try and talk about the things that she wanted to learn about in different cultures,
Mm-hmm.
pyramids and blah, blah, blah. And he was like, well, you don't know what you're talking about. He would kind of call her out on trying to seem more worldly than she was, because he insisted he could astral project.
Right.
And he was like, oh, I think I've done that in my dreams. And he's like, no, you're definitely not doing that. You don't know what you're talking about. You're just a child. Even though he was maybe 2 years older than her, he was like, first child, I am a cultured 500-year-old vampire. You've never actually seen the pyramids. I have though.
He was around when they were created.
Exactly.
Well, she was into that and becoming immortal and everything. And we talked about how this young lady is actually intelligent and she was worldly, actually, in a way, and could have amounted to something beyond what happened here. Before we get into what happened with her parents, what do you think? I mean, she was infatuated with this world, but how can you get an intelligent young lady like this? I just feel like there's a portion that she was a little bit in love with him. What else could have been an example of why she would have fell for everything Rod was saying?
I think a lot of it had to do with his charisma.
Mm-hmm.
He was so convincing with everything that he was saying. And I think a part of her was like, well, I hate my life.
Yeah.
And he can help my life.
Right. Wow. These kids, like I said, rebellious kids, we all do it. We all a little bit rebellious at times in our life, and we learn our parents were right about things and everything. But this went a little too far, because what happened to Heather's parents?
So on November 25th, 1996, Heather's sister, Jennifer, had been out with her boyfriend, and she could come around 10:30. So she opens the door, and she immediately walks into what is anybody's worst nightmare. Her dad, Richard, was dead on the living room couch, and her mother, Ruth, was dead on the kitchen floor.
Wow.
Heather's missing.
Right.
So they interview 3 people right away. They interview Jennifer,
Mm-hmm.
they interview Heather's boyfriend, and they interview Heather's best friend. Now, Jennifer tells them, look, my sister's been going through it lately. Like, she's been really weird, super goth. She's just been kind of weird, spending a lot of time on the phone.
Right.
And then they talk to the boyfriend, Jeremy Huber. And Jeremy tells police, well, we actually aren't together anymore. We broke up. And we broke up because she was telling me that she was a vampire.
Mm.
And she was going to run away and join a cult in New Orleans. And he told the police, like, at first, like, I tried to, like, humor that. Like, you want to be a vampire? That's cool. It's getting real weird.
Right.
Taking it to this extreme level. So he was like, no, I'm done. So the police, I broke up with her. She wants to be a vampire. She wants to join a cult. It's really weird. And then they interview her friend, Janine LeClaire. Now, according to Janine,
Mm-hmm.
Janine tells police that Heather was actually going to join a cult. That Jeremy was telling the truth, and apparently she was going to run away that night. And Janine was supposed to go with her, but her mom had caught her sneaking out the window and was like, where are you going? Like, you're not going anywhere.
Right.
You couldn't go with them.
Wow. There you go. An attentive mom catches one of her daughters sneaking out the window. Well, what was the investigation like, and how did the police find them?
So the investigation was really quick.
Okay.
It was really, really quick. They found like a boot print on the floor next to Ruth's body, and there was coffee on the floor as well. So they assumed that she probably used the coffee as a weapon.
Okay.
And she had scratched her, attack her. So they put out an all-points bulletin to find these kids because the Wendorf car was missing. So they thought, okay, these kids stole the car. Now, they didn't know who else was involved, but they knew that Heather was missing, and they had learned about Rod Ferrell through Janine. She was like, yeah, we used to go to school with him. He moved away, but Heather kept talking about him. I think he was coming back. So while police are looking for them, these kids are on their way to New Orleans, and it's the group of them. It's Rod, Scott Anderson, David Cooper, his girlfriend Cassidy, and Heather. Now, from what I can gather is Rod allegedly was given permission to steal Heather's parents' car. When they came to pick her up, they had come in Scott Anderson's parents' Buick, and it was like a 750-mile drive, and the Buick was really old, so they couldn't drive the Buick to New Orleans after doing this really long drive. So Heather's like, well, you can take my parents' car, it's fine. You just have to go in and get the keys. Now, she had allegedly told Rod, don't hurt my parents.
Right.
He goes into the house with Scott and picks up a crowbar. And Scott's like, what are you doing? He goes, no, just in case, they freak out because we're trying to steal the car. And apparently, without warning, he just starts bludgeoning Richard Wendorf to death. Wow. So they get in the car and they're running, and he tells Heather, like, I killed your parents. And she doesn't believe him at first, and until he shows her mom's pearl necklace.
Wow.
She realizes, like, oh my God, you did kill my parents. Covered in blood. I don't know why she didn't believe him initially.
Right.
But wow. They go and they're driving, and at some point, the kids are freaked out. They're running out of money. They've been missing for a couple of days now. And they make it pretty far. I think they're in New Orleans at this point, but they have absolutely
Right.
And they stop at a convenience store, and Rod shows Heather a newspaper, like, hey, look, like, you didn't want to believe me. Just in case you still don't believe me, this newspaper is all about your parents' murder. Because it's been like 4 days at this point. So it's on about day 4 when one of the girls, I believe it was Chastity, convinces Rod that she needs to call her mom. She's like, look, I need to call my mom. We have no money. Like, maybe I can get her to give us money. So she calls her mother. And her mother knows that her daughter's missing, but she doesn't know she's involved. So when she gets this phone call, she tells her daughter, look, I'm going to call you right back. And she calls the police. Because my daughter is on the phone. I think she's with this Rod Ferrell guy that you're looking for.
Right.
So police say, okay, great. This is what you're going to do.
Okay.
Tell them that you're going to wire them money and to stop somewhere. So the mom calls her daughter back. She says, okay, I'm going to wire you money. You guys go to this hotel. It's a few miles away. I'm going to call them ahead of you getting there. I'm going to reserve a room for you. I'll pay for it so that you guys have somewhere safe to sleep. Wow. And they fall for it, and they pull into this hotel, and they are met in the parking lot by police to arrest everybody.
Wow. Wow. What a way to get them. That is a way you would only think you would see something like that in the movies.
Yeah.
You know, wow. Amazing. And once they called up with them and took them for an investigation, and of course, we'll talk about what happened at the trial in a moment, but what was the first initial reaction from the teens as they're being caught for this by the police?
So obviously the kids are scared. Like, Scott's scared, Dana's scared, Chastity's scared,
Right.
Rod's scared. And Rod's being Rod, very cocky,
Yep.
very performative. Like, well, you caught us, but I'm a 500-year-old vampire, so I'll outlive like any person sentence you could ever give me, kind of thing. Very much not concerned. But police immediately assumed that Heather had something to do with the murder of her mom.
Right.
There's no way that you didn't know this was going to happen. You gave him permission to go into your house.
Right.
He was potentially violent.
Exactly.
No, there's no way you didn't know. And of course, she's telling him, no, he didn't know. I didn't want him to kill my parents. But even her sister said, well, she was being interviewed by police. Yeah, Heather said that she wanted our parents dead.
Right.
But you could also chalk it up to just a teenager hating her life. You're like, God, I wish my parents would die.
Right. Wow. Well, what happened with the trial?
So at trial, of course, it's a circus. He's very performative, being led into.
I saw the video.
He's got his long hair. He's really like hamming it up for the cameras because, of course, it's the media circus. And Rod actually says to police, well, I didn't intend on killing Bruce. I only did it because she attacked me. She struck me across the face. I'm being set up by a rival group of vampires.
Rivals.
It was a whole thing.
Wow.
So he goes to trial, and on February 5th, he actually pleads guilty to counts of first-degree murder because he's trying to avoid the death penalty. His lawyer's like, he accepts responsibility, he wants to live, like, he's sorry, and no one believes it. So he was actually sentenced to death via the electric chair, which made him the youngest person on Florida's death row.
Right.
Now, at Scott Anderson's trial, he went to trial in April of 98. He pled guilty and he received 2 full life sentences, which he seemed to be very accepting of. I think he knew he got caught up in something really bad and he didn't think it was going to go that far, but he realized, like, I was part of this. Like, I need to accept responsibility.
Right.
Apparently, Dana were both charged and convicted of 2 counts of third-degree murder, burglary, and robbery. Dana received 17.5 years, and Charity received 10 because she was a minor. She was only 16 at the time. Now, Heather was a different story.
Mm-hmm.
She, totally changed after they were arrested. She went back to like her good girl image, and the grand jury decided they weren't going to indict her because they ended up believing that she really didn't know her parents were going to be harmed.
Right.
And didn't know that things were going to get as bad as they were. But Rod claims Heather wanted her parents dead. And apparently multiple classmates of hers were like, yeah, she talks about wanting her parents dead literally all the time.
Wow. Yeah, I know he keeps claiming that she wanted it, and we'll get to Rod in a minute, but where is Heather to this day? Do we know where she is to this day? Is she living her best life, or what's going on with her?
So Heather actually was totally disarmed by her family,
Right.
by her sister, her surviving family members. She didn't go into art school, and she actually had to move in with her attorney's family because she couldn't adjust to life with her extended family. They really wanted nothing to do with her.
Wow.
But there is speculation that she may have actually been involved and kind of got away with it.
Right.
Because she was able to project this, like, I'm a good girl, I got caught up with a bad guy kind of thing.
Right. Wow. And Rod, let's talk about him and where he's at today and what happened with him as he was playing his best Charles Manson impersonation.
So Rod's sentence was actually commuted to life in prison in 2000 because the Supreme Court abolished the death penalty ruling for juvenile offenders. They thought it was cruel and unusual punishment. And Howard Scott Anderson's sentence was also reduced in 2018 from 40 years with time served, and he'll be eligible for parole in 2032.
Okay.
Because of the laws being changed around sentencing juveniles to life in prison, because
Right.
they also did a cruel and unusual punishment. So Rod is currently trying to have his sentence reduced because he was a juvenile at the time of the murders. Now, in 2021, he did appeal, saying that it was cruel and unusual punishment. He's been a model prisoner. He's so sorry. And the judge ruled that, no, you are going to stay in prison. You're going to serve your full life sentence because you are evil, essentially. Like, you're evil. There's something wrong with you. And he essentially said that while you may be a good model prisoner, you are still lying, you're still manipulating, you are lying to the psychiatrists that come and see you, and I know you are, you're just trying to get out of having to serve the sentence that you were given. So you were going to stay in jail for the rest of your natural born life.
Wow.
But he's still trying to appeal it.
I know he's still trying to appeal it and everything. I looked at a recent photo of him. I mean, he's not aged very well for a vampire that's 500 years old. So.
No. I think prison's been a little rough on him.
It really has. I mean, but if he'd been out in the real world, he'd still look the same as he did as a teenager, I believe, because he's a 500-year-old. It's just prison's rough on vampires.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Well, this has been another great one, and I've loved learning more about this and everything. Courtney, tell us how we can follow you, all that good stuff. What's the next episode coming out for the Book of the Dead podcast and everything?
So you can find us literally anywhere. Listen, and we put out episodes every other Wednesday.
There you go. Well, Courtney, it's great having you. We'll get you back again next month on another Thursday as we continue to talk about true crime and everything. We enjoyed this one today. Make sure you guys like, follow, subscribe to the Book of the Dead podcast, and we'll be back here to close out the show right after this. That was an awesome one. I like that one. I really did.
Yeah, it's an interesting one.
It was very interesting. It was. I'm surprised he didn't blame it being in the 90s. I'm surprised he didn't end up blaming the music for the problem. A rival vampire gang trying to stop him. Mm-mm.
Yeah, it was rivals. They were trying to frame him because, he's such a great vampire ruler and he's taking over the world and they were jealous.
I can see that. I can see that. And then that Heather, she's getting out of it. Wow. That's amazing. Well, as always, it was great having you. Enjoy your Memorial Day weekend this weekend and watch a lot of true crime and whatever. And we'll definitely get back again next month.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. You too. Enjoy your day off.
I will definitely do so. We'll talk to you soon, Courtney.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye. It was in Florida. The guy came from Murray, Kentucky, went down to Florida and met a girl, got conned. They were going to steal the car. They were going to go to New Orleans to live with their vampire brother and sisters, and they all thought they were vampires. It happened in the 90s. 90, 91, something like that. 92.
The couple's daughter Heather was arrested along with Ferrell, Howard Scott Anderson, Dana Cooper, and Charity Kesey. All were sent to prison. A grand jury believed Heather was not aware of the murder plot and she was not tried. The hearing is supposed to last at least until Wednesday. Ferrell is hoping to get no more time behind bars than Anderson, who recently was resentenced to 40 years. In Lake County, Brett Fox, Washington.
Wishbone Fried Chicken is back in a brand new location. 31 Jackson Street.
Black Poppy. Black Poppy 804. I got your song, buddy.
Open Monday through Saturday, 10:30 a.m.
Woo-wee.
It's Wishbone Fried Chicken right next door to their former location, bringing you the best chicken around. So great. Wishbone Fried Chicken, 31 Jackson Street, Suite A, here in Newton.
Looking for the right bank to be your partner? Experience the difference at Southern States Bank. At Southern States Bank, we're not just your bankers, we're your partners. Our team is deeply rooted in the community. We take pride in providing personalized service.
Yeah, you can't get us in Dallas there. We're about an hour away. We don't have that kind of power. We just serve our local community, but why? But if you move down towards our area, come on, move down towards Noonan and everything.
Join us daily for 2 hours of Atlanta's funnest sports talk right here on WQEE. I say fun.
Oh, man, somebody's got longer hair than me. You damn hippie. You a damn hippie. It gets this long, I'm not that much of a hippie, but it gets longer, I'm a damn hippie. This long, I'm just a hippie. You're a damn hippie.
If you are a sports fan in Columbus, it doesn't get any more local than the sports beat. We cover Columbus River Dragons, Columbus Rapids, Columbus Lions, Columbus Chattanoogas, Columbus State Cougars and Lady Cougars, and all the high school football and basketball action in the Chattanooga.
Born again hippie. Okay, I hear you.
You can always message me on my Twitter page or Facebook page, Sports Beat with Richard Holder.
That works out. Cher, thank you for being with us. You came on in the middle of that. Some people came off because I had to go get the questions because my computer had decided to act up. 2 p.m. Okay. Coughing up a storm is what you guys are doing out there. What's up? What's up, everybody? Thank you to Courtney Liso from the Book of the Dead podcast for being with us this morning. What a great young lady and always great information. We'll get her back again next month. I know that either this Friday or next Friday, we're going to have the members of Moms for Liberty would be joining the show, talking about their events that they're doing. We're going to be getting them on the show. We do a good variety of interviews with everybody and everything on this show. Just a hippie gypsy says by the Who. There you go. But why? He said his hair is a little bit inch longer than mine. I'm like, hey, he's a damn hippie, and I'm just a hippie. We got more storms moving in tonight. Prayers for our friends in Iowa because we know they've been having some problems, especially with the tornadoes come through. Maybe you guys just get some regular storms. We're not supposed to have rain till the weekend. Thank goodness it's not supposed to be till Sunday going into Monday because we had all our schools graduating. Last night, EC graduated. Tonight will be Northgate at 7:30. And tomorrow night will be Noonan, the Cougars, at 7:30. And the main reason all three are on 3 different nights is because people have family to go to all the schools. So they want to go see all their little graduates graduate. So there you go. There you go. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Coming up in the next period, we got Women Talk Radio, Women Power Radio. 10 a.m. is Sustainable Brown Girl. We will follow that up, ladies and gentlemen, with a replay of Empower Strikes Back with Holly Reese from 10:30 to 11. And then 11 to 11:30, we're going to have April Navoa. And then from 11:30 to noon, the Hannah Handel Show. That's all today. Women Power Radio from 10 to noon. 12 to 5 p.m. will be the best sports lineup in business. 12 to 2 today, Rod Peterson Show hosted by the one, the only. Hold off. You know it. I know it. He knows it. We all know it. It is hosted by the one, the only Moose, Darren DuPont. And then at 2 o'clock, we're going to kick off with Braves Country Radio today for 3 hours of Braves action. They're going to be doing pre-games, talking fun. They're going to be it's going to be welcoming all the listeners. They're going to have a good time. The Atlanta Braves Chicago Cubs play today at 2:20 p.m. and they're going to be bringing all the highlights of it and talking about how you can bet on it and everything. And then we got the very best program later on. All right, I think I hear the bell ring. For whom the bell tolls, it tolls for thee. Have a great rest of your day too. Share. Hopefully everything's going to be all right with you guys there. 81 tornadoes in Iowa alone on Tuesday. We had more. They had more than Texas. Wow. The wife says, ever since COVID told me I couldn't cut my hair, non-essential, I told him, watch this. I just won't ever cut it again. So you come and join the hippie club here. It's all right. All of us old guys have long hair now. I've been having it for years before it was cool. Now we all just got it. Like you, but why most people are just like, forget it. I'm just not going to go get cut anymore. I got my life. I work every day. Why should I worry about that? That's one less thing I got to worry about. Oh, guys, we'll see you guys tomorrow with more RyanORadio Penitentiary. On a Friday edition, we'll get ready for the weekend. And once again, we didn't get as many people voting today as we did yesterday. 227 people voted, only about 60 voted today. Which of these serial killers is the most mysterious? 44% of you say Jack the Ripper, 27% say Zodiac Killer, HH Homes at 14%, and others at 15%. The poll is ended. That's all right. We appreciate you being with us. See you guys tomorrow. All right. Thank you. I appreciate it, brother. If you know any business owners that want to do business in Noonan, let me know a bit. But why? We have all kind of great programs, sports program, talk programs, all kind of things. Let them know to get over here to Noonan. You'll see me tomorrow, Pete. You'll just get up and get on. Holly and make you. She's like, get up. You got to go watch Ryan. All right, guys. I appreciate it. Share. Be careful there. Please be careful there. Hopefully everything goes well and you only get regular storms coming through there. And dadgum tornadoes are just. All right, guys. Have a great day. Thought I knocked you guys off.